Well, the summer was pretty frustrating. That's probably the most family-appropriate word I could put on it. Injuries have started taking their toll, the transfer window's still open, and we're still making moves, and they're not always in our favor. Our fifth season has not exactly gotten off to the start I wanted it to. My name's FM19, and this is the Return of Gloria with SC Bastia, episode 32. Well, I wanted to start here to kind of show what our issue is, I think. If you look, it is our reputation. We are a national two-star team. Amiens, which got relegated from Ligue 1 last season, is a three-star national team. They had the most transfer moves this off-season, about €3.5 million worth. 2.3 in, 8 million out. It was just one of those summers where I couldn't get anybody to come in. And we did so well last season. The big fear I had of everybody looking at my youth players and seeing how good they were and coming after them is exactly what happened. And literally, one of them happened 30 seconds before I started recording. Hugo Mariano has agreed to go to OGC Nice for €500,000 up front, going up to €750,000. They made an offer for him earlier for like €250,000. I said no. He got upset. I said I'll sell you if they come back for $1 million. He said 350. I said €750,000, and that's what they met. They actually tried lowballing me on the initial and then doing installments, and they were also going to do monthly league appearances as well. But I did get a 50% profit on the next sale going on, so I suspect he is going to earn me some more money in the future. I think out of all my youth players, he's the one that has the highest potential. Release players-wise, I don't think there's any surprises here. Vincent Bezecourt left, Bogdan Zajkovic left, Steven Bautari left, Jeremy Santini left, Jacques Onda left, Kevin Popolidis left, Enzo left. They were all players who just weren't justifying their salary, or they weren't getting a lot of playing time and were complaining about it. Cyril Roux, Patrick Costa, Alan Blaise, Jean-Paul Orsini, Maxim Berger were all younger players who were just never developing. Diego Fofana hit a wall. I want to say almost literally. He just stopped improving and actually got worse as the seasons went on and lost out to Sasha as the defensive right back. Costa had a run of 3 games for us where he was really, really good, but he didn't improve either, even with full team playing time in the reserves. Speaking of playing time, the one thing I did fear at the end of last season was the under-19 team getting relegated out of their division, and that happened. Luckily, their manager's on top of it. He's been scheduling a decent amount of friendlies. On the other hand, my under-19 squad is fairly thin, and most of these guys, at least everybody up top, is getting first-team playing time. Everyone else is playing on the reserves, because the reserves are still in the National 3. Getting back to the transfers. On the outs, Kevin Appen is at Pau on loan. Tom Blanchard went to FC Bastia Borgio on loan. Badr Maiga and Jean-Paul Massini went to AS Friuli Agliani on loan. Ricardo Farkas went to Gianna Erminio, which is a club in Hungary. Which is a club in the Italian Serie C, out on loan. On the ins, and all these are frees because I couldn't pay good money for anybody to come. I think we got lucky with Frank last season. First in, Andres Soldevilla. 19-year-old defensive midfielder, can also play defensive center back and midfielder. I really like the look of him. 4-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. Like I said, comes to us on a free. My scout in Spain found him. I don't know what Hospitalet was thinking letting a guy like this go, but as you can see, he is very, very good. Nice physicals. Really good mentals where they count. I love the 17 determination, 14 teamwork, 12 vision, 13 aggression, anticipation, 11 bravery. The technicals are very good where they count. 14 first touch, 15 heading, 12 long shots, although the heading doesn't match up with the 6 jumping. 12 passing, 12 tackling, 15 technique, very good deep line playmaker, ball-winning midfielder at the defensive midfielder position. Next in, Thomas Callens. With Patrick Costa leaving, I needed a quality backup. And believe it or not, he's actually not that bad. I think he's a little bit better than the 2.5-star current ability suggests he is. Physicals are okay. The mentals are nice where they count. The 3 off the ball is a bit worrying. I'm trying to work on that. So far it hasn't been helping. The goalkeeping, the first touch of 1 is dismal. I'm working on that as well. But for the money, free, he was the right price. Next in, Joaquin Medina. A youth player. He came in and said, hey, I'm available. I brought him in on trial. 2-star current ability, 5-star potential ability, 17 years old. He can spend a couple years on the reserves. I like his physicals already. His mentals are nice where they count. The off the ball and the vision are a bit troubling, but everything else is pretty adequate. The 18 teamwork is very, very nice. The technicals, they could use some help. Although his marking of 14 and his tackling of 15 are excellent, everything else is kind of lacking. But I think if I get him in and get him on a training regimen, he will definitely improve. And in a couple years, he could be challenging for first team playing time. Mario DeMarco, another youth player who showed up looking for a chance. 1.5-star current ability, 4-star potential ability. I brought him in as depth more than anything else. He's going to get a ton of time on the reserve squad. The physicals aren't the best. The mentals aren't the best, although the 19 teamwork and 16 work rate are great. Everything else is, they could be better. They could also be a lot worse. The technicals, he really needs work on. But you know what? He's here on a free. He's getting 500 euros a week. He's getting a ton of playing time in the National 3 as part of the reserves. If he doesn't develop, he doesn't develop. And the off chance is I can move him for a little money. Vincent Gao comes to us on loan from Toulouse because Patrick Istria broke his leg. Let me go there real quick. Broke his ankle, rather, and is out 3 to 4 months. And he was really chased after in the offseason. I rejected every offer for him because they were lowballing me. Every offer he got was less than 100,000 euros. And even after he broke his ankle, there was still stuff in the press about how he was going to try and force a move. I was like, okay, go ahead and try. While Polo can play attacking midfielder on the right, Bezecourt was my other backup there. And the other players I have just aren't as good as Polo, but Polo I like to keep on the bench as a reserve. Or he'll be switching time with Vincent Gao, like I said, who comes to us from Toulouse, 2.5-star current ability, 4-star potential ability. Physicals, they're not the best. It's strength and jumping reach. Otherwise, they're very, very excellent. The mentals, they're okay. They could use a little bit of work, which I'm hoping will happen while he's here. The technicals, the 13 crossing, 14 first touch is nice, as is the 9 passing and 10 technique. He needs a little bit of work. I'll be the first person to admit it, but he automatically comes in as our best attacking midfielder on the right. And for someone who's playing a lot of wingers and plays a control wing style, that's what I need. Safwan Mabaye, a name longtime followers of the series will follow, is back. He was here for a season, left to go to FC Villefranche, was there for 2 seasons. They got relegated. He left on a free. He was available. I brought him in on trial. He said, sure. 3.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability, 25 years old. Solid physicals, solid mentals. Technicals could be a little bit better in some areas, but they're solid where they count. 13 heading, 12 marking, 12 tackling. Comes in as part of the rotation. He's going to get a lot more playing time now that Mariano's leaving. His salary wasn't too onerous. He's here for a couple of years. Just a solid addition to the club. This is where I thought he would be had he stayed with the club. Next in, Konstantinos Patulidis. I just really ought to restart naming everybody Bob. 22-year-old defensive midfielder. I brought him in as depth more than anything else. 3-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability. Spent 6 years at Standard. Never saw a game for any squad. Saw him out there, brought him in on trial. He popped up as 3.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability. Plus, I just like the look of him, and I can't explain why. He's got solid physicals. He's got solid mentals. He's got solid technicals, except for his long throws and his penalty taking. Could he improve in a few areas? Sure. But for someone who's here on a rotation... Is he on here on a rotation contract? Yeah, he's on a rotation contract. Okay, his salary of 2.7 thousand euros doesn't exactly reflect a rotation contract, but he's on a rotation contract. He will get playing time. The thing I like about him is he is equally adept in the midfield as he is the defensive midfield. And last but not least, someone who came in just a few days ago, Duccio Pardini. 19-year-old defensive center back, here for depth more than anything else at the moment. 2.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability, decent physicals, Okay mentals. I like the decision making, the determination, the work rate, and the positioning are nice too. Everything else is kind of lacking, but I think with some training we can improve on that. The technicals, he's got a 13 marking and 12 tackling, and that's about it. Everything else needs work. But, he's earning €300 a week. He's here on a hot prospect contract. He's going to get a decent amount of playing time on the reserve squad, and 2-3 years when he's maybe 3-star, 3.5-star potential ability. If he doesn't have a spot on the squad, I'm reasonably sure I can move him on for a little bit of money. Club-wise, we did pick up another affiliate, AS Vietre in the National 2. I haven't sent anybody to them yet because they're all playing for my reserves. But I wanted another squad because last season AS Furiani had like 6 of my players, which I didn't think was possible, but it looks like it is possible in France. So, we'll have to see. Getting to the spreadsheet. This was the squad at the end of last season. This is the June 21 to May 2022 attributes and how they've updated. Hugo Mariano fell in bravery because he was injured. Alan Blaze fell, I don't know why. Anthony Rocanglia fell, probably just because he wasn't getting a lot of playing time. As you can see, a player like Jacques Onda, who fell at least 1 and 2/3 of the categories. That's one of the reasons he moved. On the other hand, players like Tom Blanchard here and Emilio Brigado here, Baptiste Petroni here, they got a decent amount of playing time and some really good training, and they really improved across the board. Getting to the point where I have to scroll down now to actually see some of the players in that. So the other thing I do like is that my older players, and let me sort this by age here, and I do have a few older players. They did okay. Joris Sayanati, as an example, didn't improve, but he didn't get worse, which for a 33-year-old I think is great. Stephen Babatari got better, but he just never saw any playing time because he was always on international duty at Martinique, and then he was on loan. But as you can see, the youth players I'm going to be relying on for the next couple of seasons, they're getting better, and they are all rapidly turning into some of the better players on the squad. One of the other things I've done, with a suggestion from one of the guys who's been following me along on the FM Slack channel, is I've added this down below in the player analysis. And what this is a player comparison just for the years. You put the tabs in you want to compare, you put the player in, and I just created a player on the charts called test player. And as you can see, it tracks the stat improvement and decrease. And it compares it to the number above it. So as an example, 3 is more than 2, so it's green. 2 is less than 4, so it's red. 4 is greater than 1, so it's green. 1 is less than 2, so it's green. And because, if it stays the same, it's not going to change. So if I take a player like, probably, who's a good example? Jean-Marc Parent. As I scroll down too far here. So let me copy this name here real quick. So as you can see, this is Jean-Marc Parent from June of 18 to October of 21. So as you can see, the numbers at the top are the total number of improvements in that attribute since I started tracking him in June of 18, or at least from June of 18 to October of 21. I could always add more tabs in or lines in down here at the bottom. And the formula for this is actually really cool because if I insert lines, the formula still applies. It adjusts the array. But as you can see, since I've started training him, he's improved 8 in strength, 4 in stamina, 3 in pace, 4 in balance. And pretty much across the board, everywhere else except determination and, bravery, I want to say. And natural fitness. Oh, he did improve 1 in bravery. Okay. I must have missed that. But you can also see where he had also some very good years. What I want to try and do next is get another column going on here that's going to count the number of green cells and the number of red cells so you can see where they did and did not finish. To be honest with you, I haven't really done much else for this season in terms of player salary and schedule. If I go to the schedule, as you can see here, I got these year's teams in League 2 in and where they finished last season and what their projected finish is. Over here, though, it's the same schedule from last season because I just copied and pasted down. I haven't brought it in yet. I've been too busy working on summer transfers and getting the first few games out of the way. And we're not off to the fastest start. I had a lot more friendly scheduled, but a lot of them got canceled. We started... I don't know what is going on with this season. It's 2022, so maybe it's World Cup, so there's got to be something going on in November, December to force us back to this earlier starting time. We only got 3 friendlies, and they weren't all that great. We lost to guys like Ajaccio. Monaco reserves beat us by 1 goal. We tied with Fruche and Raphael, which never should have happened because they are a team 2 levels below us. We got the season started off on the wrong foot with a 3-2 loss to Strasbourg. They're one of the better teams in the league. Kim Jin-ya had a brace of goals in the 44th and 76 minutes for Strasbourg. Sofiane Diop also had a 46-minute goal. We got ourselves back in the second half to challenge, but literally 3 minutes after Knežević scored, Jin-ya got his second goal of the day. We fought hard. We had 16 shots, 8 on target. They're 19 and 8. We had the 1 woodwork hit and 2 clear-cut chances, but their players were just a little bit better than ours, and it showed. We were then away at PAL FC, who are one of the teams that we should have a reasonable chance of beating this year. And instead, they just absolutely took it to us. 16 shots, 7 on target for them, 10 shots, 8 on target for us. Bae Young-jin had a 32nd-minute goal for them, or Rafael Almeida had a 80th-minute goal for us off a set piece, which was very, very nice. Player of the match, he was also really good on the defense all game as well. And then we were away at Rodez Veyron, and they're one of the worst teams in League 2, and they showed it. When we played them, we thumped them 3-0. The only drawback to this game was Ante Knežević got sent off for getting double yelled in the space of 2 minutes. I fined him a week. He got upset. I said it's the standard penalty. He still got upset. So now I got a grumpy 18-year-old on my hands. Yay me. John Mark Perrin had a brace of goals though. Steve Furtado had an own goal for us. Rodez had more shots, but not as many on target. We each had the 1 woodwork hit. We had a slight possession advantage, but we were just better than them technically. We had more passes completed. They won a couple more of the headers, but you could tell just by watching the game, we were on the ball faster than they were. We were better passing it than they were. Today, though, we are coming back for the Coupe de la Ligue first-round match against FC Lorient, who we are actually playing 3 days later in the league. I really want to go far in the league in the Coupe de League this year, so we're playing a stronger squad. The kicker is the Coupe de la Ligue, and I'm not quite sure why. You can start 11, have 5 on the bench, and rotate 3 in. It's completely. And if I knew how to say that in French, I would. But I'm going to go check the best 11 and my paltry reserves, and we'll be back with a match against FC Lorient in just a bit. Well, we are away at Lorient, and they're playing a 4-3-3 today. We are also playing a 4-3-3. At least I'm calling it a 4-3-3. Now it's a 4-1-2-3 DM wide. I can't win for losing, I swear. Adriani in goal. Brigado, Mariano, Altari, and Sasha is the defensive back four. Soldevilla is the defensive midfielder behind Parent and Bernardi. Diallo and Polo up top as the attacking midfielders, and Frank as the lone striker. I'm not aiming for a playoff position or trying to finish top half of the league this year. I'm looking for a mid-table finish. Soldevilla driving across the top of the box. Out to Sasha, drives forward. To Polo, he takes a shot, but Diallo's there to get the rebound from Messier, and he buries it. Out of the way, ref. Come on. That was a nice pass by Sasha. Meslier. Okay, that was a desperation block by Meslier, and it worked, but the rebound went right to Frank. Bernardi with the free kick from outside the box sends it in. Oh, Frank got the one header and then kicked it over the crossbar. I'm playing this formation today because Knežević is out and my other advanced midfielder that I would have to play the position played the reserve match, so he's a bit shattered. Diallo sends it in, but it's knocked out. Hasdik to Corte. Oh, dispossessed by Soldevilla. Over to Sasha. Up to Polo. Dispossessed by Nkubi, but Sasha's there to recover. He drives forward and loses it to Metzger. He launches a ball into space, but Alter's there. Passes back to Adriani, who sends it forward towards Bernardi. Over. Bernardi gets it. Holds it up. Sends it into Frank. Oh, and he buries it. Well done. Near side of the keeper, who just looked like he did not move. Feet made of stone on that. Oh, the Lorient player went for the header and missed it. Oh, Meslier looked left as the ball went right. He's on sides. Jeez. The game I got suspended for last season, the touchline ban, was one of those where that was the replay, but he was called off sides. Actually, I'm thinking about learning how to curse in French just for this. Might come in handy. Hugo picked up a bruised rib. you know what? We're going to leave him on. Because you know what? You're going to OGC Nice. You can play with a bruised rib here. They can deal with you there in their better facilities. Plus, you're only at 73%. You're fine. Just rub some dirt in it, dude. You'll be okay. Coming up on halftime, we thoroughly dominated Lorient. 11 shots, 5 on target. 1 woodwork hit, 1 clear-cut chance. Minuscule possession advantage, but that's all we've needed. They've had 3 shots, none on target. We've definitely kept them on the back foot. Frank, a 4th-minute goal. And Frank, Diallo, a 4th-minute goal. Frank, a 26-minute goal. We're doing well. No, they're my 3 yellow cards for the game. Oh, Soldeville with an interception. He's done that a couple of times in games where he's just jumped in front of a player on a throw-in. Brigado with a throw-in to Soldeville. Up to Parent. Over to Sasha. Crosses it in. Can Diallo run it down? He can, but he passes it to Nakubi instead of one of our players. Hasdick has it. Almost loses the ball. Wow, he's quick. Dribbles forward. Off the post. And Adriani knocks it out of bounds for a Lorient corner kick. We're going to make some substitutions after this. Perosovic sends it in. Diallo knocks it away. Tulidis is going to come on. We're going to make him a ball-winning midfielder. Why is Frank an inside forward? He shouldn't be. Vincent Gao is going to come on to replace Frank. And I left Leroy off, so... Okay, Emile. Don't get a yellow card. Fontaine with a free kick for Lorient. Sends it up. Sasha's there, knocks it back to Adriani, who picks it up, holds onto it. He's got a Lorient player in front of him. Can't be legal, but I guess it is. Offret gets the long kick from Florian. Asafua has it. Hasdick. And they get a goal. It's okay, guys. Oh, I totally... Sasha's looking exhausted. Luckily, I can bring on Armand. Throw in for us. Brigado to Frank. Back to Brigado. Over to Soldevilla. Crosses the box to Petulidis. Out to New. All alone on the right. Crosses it in. Frank to Gao. Wow, what a strike. Okay, if he's going to hit him like that all the time, he's going to see a lot more playing time. They just left Armand out there all alone on an island. Nice cross in. Nice header down by Frank. Well done. New with the throw-in to Frank. Back to Soldevilla. To New. Over to Parent. Long pass towards Gao on the left. He's got help behind him, but no, he's going to cross it in. Petulidis. Oh, Meslier with a nice save. Corner kick in. This should be it coming up here. Soldevilla sends it in. Knocked away by Fontaine. Cabot runs it down. Blow the whistle, ref. Ufella. Oh, dispossessed. Mariano. Over to Gao. Back to Brigado. Up to Frank. What the heck happened there? Must have been a foul. I didn't read it on the bottom. All of a sudden I saw Frank driving forward and he was walking away. I thought the ref blew the whistle. Oh, nice win for us. 14 shots, 7 on target. Diallo, 4th-minute goal. Frank, a 26-minute goal. Gao, goal in the 90th minute. That was a nice screamer of a goal by him. Quality of possession provides victory. It was a very nice game. Out for 1 to 3 days. Well, you're leaving soon anyways. And next, we are playing Valenciennes. For the Coupe de la Ligue, they always draw the first 2 rounds first. So that happened just before the season started. We're going to praise Frank, because he was fabulous in front of the goal. Had a goal, had the assist. Come up next. Do we come back for the Valenciennes? There's only 2 games to... Good grief, we can't win for losing. We just played Lorient, now we're playing Lorient, then we play Valenciennes, and we're playing Valenciennes again. That just... Okay. Sometimes Football Manager is weird. You know what? We'll come back for that second Coupe de la Ligue game. What the heck? It's only a 2 minute. It's only a 2-week break, but still. We'll see. I think it's odd. The one game against Valenciennes is on TV, but the Coupe de la Ligue game isn't. Well, 3 weeks in, we're solidly mid-table. That could possibly change, though. And frankly, it probably will. Money-wise, we're doing pretty good. We're still losing money each month. It's just not a lot of money, and I'm okay with that. We were the subject of a takeover at one point in time in the summer. Oh, God, that's one of the other reasons I had such a huge transfer issue, was that they announced that a buyer was looking at buying the club, and they put a embargo on transfers, and literally 3 weeks went by where other teams were making moves and I couldn't. I had a line on, at least I thought I had a line on Miguel Luis, who is a very good midfielder from Spain who was let go by Barcelona, I want to say. And when I initially inquired about him, he was amenable to coming. I would have had to pay him a ton of money, which I would have done because he's a quality midfielder. He heads and shoulders better than anybody I have on the team at the moment. And the embargo came on, and I went back 3 weeks later, and he's like, nope. I suspect that's going to be something that's going to follow us for the next couple of seasons until we really improve our standings. But as you can see, we're actually doing pretty well. So, coming up next, the second Coupe de la Ligue game against Valencians. We'll be back for that in a little while. If you liked what you've seen and heard, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content. Questions, criticisms, comments, leave those down below. I will answer them as fast as I can. My name's FM19, and you've been watching the Return Gloria with SC Bastia, episode 32.